the GamezAttack podcast. That is episode 97. DLSS 5 me, baby. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. I hope I'm coming in just fine over this loud music that I'm listening to. Yeah. This is good kicker music. I just picked it out for today. Oh yeah. So how's it going? Let me take that down a little bit. How's it going, everybody? It's going great for me. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend or the end of your weekend, because it's Monday when you're watching and listening to this. Oh boy, this is, folks, the podcast about video games, gaming, the gaming industry, and everything that's happening around video games and gaming software and hardware and beyond. I am your host, like always, Mr. Mike. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, DLSS 5. DLSS 5. Hot topic. Hot topic for this week. Since last week. And boy, I've been hearing a lot of either the backlash on one side and the pros on the other side. And where do I stand between all of this, might you ask? Well, I'm happy to tell you that. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, where I stand on the Nvidia's DLSS 5. I saw the trailer. I saw the whole, swipey, left and righty, and showing off the whole enchilada of what they're basically planning on doing. Now, no, this technology is not done yet. It is coming out, what they say, around maybe next year or sometime, when they can release a new graphics card, to sell alongside of it that you can use it with. I guess they were using two. I can look up I can actually just do my job and my fake job and look it up here on the sheet. I think they were using two GeForce RTX 5090s. Yes, I think that's what they were using. I think they were using two to actually power this thing. They had to use two RTX 5090s, I think. I'm just looking at this to run this DLSS 5. It's still, like I said, they're working on it. They're working on it for the next technology. It's supposed to, the whole DLSS and ray tracing and all that stuff. This is supposed to complement it, make it better, make games that still look a little gamey, look more realistic, and change things. And here's the thing that people don't want to acknowledge with this. You don't have to use this technology. You do not. You don't have to use this technology if you don't want to. They're not going to require you, when you're playing your games, to use DLSS 5 if you don't want to. This is for people that might want it, like me. I think after watching this announcement for Nvidia's DLSS 5, I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people say it takes away from the gaming experience and the way the characters are designed by the designers of the game, and it takes away around the visuals and how the shadows and the darkness and stuff. To me, I think, as I'm looking at the Grace part here, when they were showing the Resident Evil Requiem, I know what Grace looks like. She looks pretty good as herself in the game without the DLSS 5. But once they showed her with DLSS 5 on and the environment and stuff, everything brightened up. She looks a lot more realistic. I mean, a lot more realistic. Her eyes don't look as fakeish to me. They look more realistic. They shine. You can see more of the eyes. You don't just see the darkness and the shadow. Now, a lot of people complain about that because they're like, oh no, they're supposed to have the fog and the darkness and stuff like that. But is that what you see in real life? Do you really see that if we were to get a real um person, anybody, anybody, anybody at all, to be out in the real world, you know, whatever they're wearing, leather jacket, whatever, in the rain, the smoke, a little bit of dark, how would you see them? And how would you present that? Now, with Grace here, you know, as I'm playing a game, I like to see my game. You know, I talk about my fingers and my hands a lot, but I also, I don't have the best of eyes. I was born with shitty eyes, like a lot of other people. I wear glasses, all that stuff. And a lot of parts of games bother me nowadays. And I know that they tried to do the suspense thing and all that other stuff. But if I can't see the game I'm playing and see the characters and see what I'm doing, it bothers me. It's like I can't see and I'm trying to, and then I usually have to go pause the game, go into the settings, brighten everything up myself, and do all this stuff just so I can see the stuff that technically they don't really want you to see because it's all in the darkness, shadows, stuff like that. I turn off the chromization, I turn off motion blur, I turn off all. You see me when I play my games and when I start my games up. I turn that shit off for a reason because I don't like it. I don't want that garbage in my games. Just give me the regular shit, and I don't like that stuff. And the game to me looks a lot better. Like I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. I turned all that shit off and it looks beautiful. I can see everything, everybody pretty much. Still a bit dark in certain spots and stuff. And if I had DLSS 5 on, I could brighten up some spots. And I know that takes away from some people's visions of watching their games and playing their games. But for people like me, people that want to see my game and be able to play it, you can consider it like a handicap. This is like an accessibility feature. This is DLSS 5 is like an accessibility feature. Just like your ray tracing and your frame generation and all that stuff. This is another form of accessibility on this part. And for people like me, I don't mind this. I look at Grace on the second picture, I'm like, damn, I would definitely tap that ass or fucker, or tap that ass. Excuse me. I get explicit on this podcast, but I would definitely tap that ass. The other one, I'm like, yeah, she looks like a video game character. The other one, I'm like, damn, she looks real. And damn, when there's a big scary monster going to attack her slow ass, I think I'm going to help her out way more than the video game character that I want her ass eaten. When this other one's like, oh shit, no, I want her with me. I don't want this fine piece of ass just getting, chomped and mauled. That's what I see. Same thing with Leon Kennedy. He looks a lot better, more realistic in the other than he does in that. Now, no, this was not how the artists in the game presented the game originally. And let's be frank here. Artistry in video games, you can only go still so far before you can what you can do in graphics and technology and stuff like that. So technically what they can do and can't do is still, A and B. This is going to help bridge that gap for games in my mind. And they were showing some examples of games that this could be really good for. The one game they did not show this for, though, was Minecraft. I would definitely want to see a fucking Minecraft DLSS 5 takeover on and see how well that tech could do for a game like that and see what that game would look like with DLSS 5 on. And if I was Nvidia, I was Jason, what's his name? Jason Hung? Jason, is it Jason Hung? I always get his name wrong and I don't want him to be mad at me. But if I can get Mr. Hung, and yeah, I'm seeing Leon Kennedy. He looks a lot sexier with the DLSS 5 on, let's just say. But if I can get Jason Hung to talk to the people at Mojang and see if he can get a hands on Minecraft and get Minecraft to run in DLSS 5 or something, or if they could just do it on their own, I would love to see that. I'd love to see what they can create what kind of masterfully evil masterpiece they can do. Because man, if I can use this tech on a Minecraft, because people like me already have texture packs that want to make Minecraft worlds look super realistic while we're breaking our blocks and doing all that stuff. This would help do that without us installing more texture packs, and it wouldn't boggle down our graphics cards because it's built into the graphics card itself. You know what I mean? This would actually improve that and maybe help with the race tracing a bit. Oh my God, that would be phenomenal to me. And like I said, it would make our digital women more sexy. Like, and I know certain people do not like that. Certain people talk about this like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, why do people just want to fuck their game avatars and stuff? Why are these people always wanting to look at this lady like they want to tap her ass? I think that's sick. Even though this same certain somebody keeps talking about ladies' feet in other games, he's like, oh, look at those hot ladies' feet, and I'm like, you're talking about the fucking ladies' feet all the time, but yet you're talking about people like Laura Croft and Grace over here. Like, no, oh, what is wrong with people? I don't know. I don't get that. See, I'm just me. I'm just saying what every dude would say. Is they'd be like, I would definitely fuck Grace on the right side here. And I'm looking at the picture right now. With DLSS 5 on, I definitely fuck her there. The other one, I'm just like, yeah, she looks kind of hot, but she doesn't look real. She looks real there. And people are like, but you're not seeing the smoke. You're not seeing the grate. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it looks more realistic. It looks good. Her hair looks great. You know, her eyes, her facial features, her skin tone, everything looks great on her. The leather jacket looks real. You know, the water, the rain, the people's umbrellas, they all look real. So don't fucking tell me that you don't like this, because isn't this where video games are going anyways? Isn't this why people want more powerful PC and gaming console hardware for? Isn't that what you guys all been crying about? Like, oh, why isn't this game even more realistic? Oh, why isn't I getting more frames and it looks more realistic? This is what you fucking crappy cowards keep crying about every fucking time. And then when Nvidia tries to do this stuff with some technology, I don't know if it's just because it uses AI in it and people are really scared about the weirdo AI coming to take their jobs, even though it's not going to do that in any retrospect, you know. But this could help. This could help games. This can help game makers and designers and help them. Well, we can do it up to this point. We're good at doing it to this point. This technology will help us take our vision even farther. You know, sometimes, like they said, like Jason Hung was saying and stuff, and what they were saying over at I think at Bethesda or something, they were saying, oh, we can help tweak, you know, help them over at Nvidia with the DLSS 5 and tweak it to make Starfield look better and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, why does the developers have to help them make this thing? It's already broken, this technology. It's already a dead technology, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with them helping them? Help them make it the best technology can be. And then when people don't want certain things out of this technology, maybe there'll be extra, you know, sliders or whatever where you can change the DLSS 5 to your liking. So if you want more smoke and more darkness and everything else in the backgrounds to be not as realistic or something, you just want Grace or whoever to be more realistic or certain things on and off, maybe it'll let you do that. Maybe there'll be some special things that, you know, settings that'll let you change how DLSS 5 works, and it's just not an on and off thing. Maybe it'll have a more broader palette where you can change it to make it look like what you want to see in your game. I'm gonna say let's give them a chance. Let's wait till this tech is officially out. Like I said, I think it's out next year with the new graphics cards. Let's see how this tech is before we start judging it by what it is. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just AI doing bullshit shit. Okay, whatever. Stop complaining. I know we are living in a traumatic time with people in and AI taking over, you know, stupid shit like, oh, all the memory and all the storage is going to the stupid servers that supposedly are going to help AI be AI and stuff, which is not true. And I don't know why these people do that, but I think people are in what would I say? Um AI derangement syndrome, maybe a little bit. I think there's a little bit of AI derangement syndrome. And trust me, I'm not fully on board with AI for everything. Some stuff I am. Like, if I can use some of this technology for making my videos and doing some stuff for me, that would be fun. It'd be fun to help create stuff and use this to help my creations become what I can do and stuff like that. And the same thing with video games. If it can help make video games a little bit better and tweak it, maybe tweak some of those old games like when we'll talk about later where Microsoft and Xbox are going to try to make some old school backwards compatible games maybe a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe this could help a lot of that stuff. And I think Xbox and Microsoft were talking about that before about how do we upres these older games and not ruin the games in general? Maybe this technology could help with that. Hmm? Instead of writing this technology off and being very close-minded, which a lot of people are out there, because people have to be whiny little pricks out there. Let's just see what it does. And eventually, and like I said, if it looks good enough and it could do some stuff and you can change some stuff in it, imagine what you can get. You can make the game the way you like to look at it and see it. And okay, maybe the developers won't mind that much because they just want you to play the game and enjoy the game. See, I can take away from that stuff because looking at this DLSS 5 on, I'd be just looking at it and going, wow, this looks so cool and so beautiful and so amazingly realistic. And wow, I would just have fun. And if this, like they said, it can make things too bright or something, I wouldn't mind that for me personally. Because that's like an accessibility feature to me. If it brightens up stuff that I can't see that I want to see, then that's great for me because then I can see some shit. Now, if you're the kind of person that wants to see it where it's totally dark and they just what they want you to see and not to see and you like that stuff, fine. That's all you. That's your prerogative. But not everybody's like you. Everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different choice and everybody has a different liking to stuff. And it just drives me crazy when people try to go out there and says, nobody wants this technology. This is a dead technology. This is horrible, horrible. This is horse paste or I won't even get into that kind of bullshit. But let's give it a chance, people. Stop being old people and whiny little gamers. Let's embrace this. You know, if you don't want it in your game, then don't turn this feature on. Nvidia says that. Everybody else says it. If you don't want it, you won't have to turn it on. You can use other stuff and utilize the cards in your own way. Like I said, this is coming out next year with new cards and stuff. They said you can't, I don't think you can even use it with these, like my 4070 Ti. I bet I can't use it. I got to wait till I get a 5060 series or whatever they're going to call the next series. And that's how I'm going to use it. So let's not get all up in arms about this stuff. And let's wait and see because they're still going to be improving this tech for the rest of the year and stuff and into next year and beyond. They'll tweak it. They'll make things better. They'll change things up. And shit. Then you'll get your wish for most of you to say, hey, most of my games look more realistic, just like you want it. And you wouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars on new tech or complain about getting a new console or this or that because maybe this tech can help bridge the gap. Maybe for tech that isn't so new, you know, like Switch 2 and stuff, which is new, but, you know, has less hardware going forward. Maybe tech like this could help games look better on that tech, even if they down-res the games to just get it on the Switch 2 or other systems or handhelds and stuff. And it brings the level of quality up again. Maybe that's a good thing because then you won't need as big of files for your games and stuff to go in there, and it still looks like to your vision of how the developer wants their game to look like. Like I said, there's many possibilities for this. And everybody complaining and writing off, like I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts and a bunch of people are just writing the shit off. And then there's some people and some of these podcasts that are split between the two groups. And some guys were saying, "Oh, I hate this." And the other guy was like, "What do you mean? This looks pretty damn good to me." And to me, I think this looks good to me. I'm on this is looks good to me side, folks. And like I said, we're all capable of our own opinions and stuff. And, some people are wrong and they're going to remain wrong. And they think because we are the masters of the video game universe and we get to decide what's good and bad for video games and stuff like that and who should like this and that and other people's opinions don't matter because they're not in the video game industry and they're not journalists and stuff. Fuck you. Fuck you. Everybody can be entitled to their opinion as long as they try. And I'm talking about this for people. As long as people try to understand the technology and the gaming and all that stuff, they're entitled to their opinion. If they're just a fool coming off the boat just talking crap, then yes, they don't deserve to talk about it. See, I try to understand stuff. I'm a techno geek. I love techno geek stuff. I love trying out cool technology. I do a little this and that. I use some AI in my artwork and stuff and try to help myself do stuff a little faster and it helps out my visions and stuff like that. And I have no problem with this at all. Like I said, I would definitely utilize this if I decided to get a next gen graphics card. And like I said, if I can see something with Minecraft with this stuff, that'd be pretty cool. Like I said, looking at Grace, she looks good. And then, you got the people say, "Oh, she looks so dead-eyed when she's in the DLSS 5 mode." They're like, "Oh, she looks so dead-eyed." I'm like, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm doing the swiping here of this video here, and I'm looking at her original look, her more fake-ish look, and it looks totally fake compared to the realistic look. I think she looks more fucking dead-eyed when she's in the regular game with the DLSS 5 off. I have to say, she looks more dead-eyed. She looks really like a freaking plastic, one of those plastic doll type characters, like she's an action figure or something, or a statue. I look at her in DLSS 5 mode and everything else, and I'm like, okay, they got more texture. They got more vision through the eyes. I can see her actually looking like she's looking at me or something. She's not just, she looks more, like I said, she looks more realistic. Her clothes look more realistic. They got some more wear on the jacket and her shirt has like fabric look to it. It looks like a person is acting in a movie over here. And you got stuff like the shop and stuff with the cigarette logo and stuff over here, and it looks more realistic in the rain and everything else. Sure, it looks a little bit brighter, but you can maybe you'll be able to change that if you don't want it super bright. But for me, I'm like, oh, I can see more textures, I can see more things in the sides and the boxes and stuff. And like I said, Grace's hair looks a lot more realistic. It looks like that what they were trying to do with the hair effects thing with Lara Croft before, but it kind of failed basically. And this actually looks like it took the trace effects hair effect look to the next level with this, where it looks real. Because isn't it super hard to make realistic looking hair and fabric in a video game? Well, maybe this DLSS 5 technology will help with that stuff. And you know what? More power to them. More power to them. Because I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking at Grace and another photo here in the dark. And with DLSS 5 off, she looks okay. She looks like a cartoon character. I look at her and with DLSS 5 on, she looks damn fucking realistic. She's got the shadows. She's got textures in her face. Her eyes got a glimmer to it, more of a glimmer to it, like she's looking at with the light and stuff. And the textures behind her on the wall and stuff look a lot better, and they look realistic. And frankly, that would get me to look like, oh, I'm actually playing a fucking movie here. That's what it'll make me look like. I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, it's like I'm watching a movie while I'm playing a game, but this would totally make me look like it's a real movie. And plus, because I'm playing the main character, if I'm playing somebody like Grace, which unfortunately I'm never gonna probably ever play Resident Evil Requiem because I think Grace's character sucks. I know a lot of people like it, but like her, but I think her character sucks. I'm sorry. I think she should have been more bad at. I'm sorry. The trauma thing don't work for me. I'm sorry. She should have been a little. They should have made her a little bit more badass. She should have grown a pair of balls. I'm sorry. You know, she doesn't have to be a dude, but you got to grow a little bit more pair of balls and not be a hypochondriac kind of thing going on there. But like I said, I would try to I'd be more scared for her looking like she does in DLSS 5 than I would in DLSS 5 off, because I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, she looks like a fucking real person. I don't want her dying. I don't want her getting her head chomped or anything. Same with Leon here, or Leon Kennedy. I'm looking at him. I'm like, with his extra textures and stuff, he looks pretty damn sexy. He looks like a sexy boy here, an older sexy boy. And the other one, he just looks okay. There's less texture. It's darker. You don't see much of his hair and stuff. Here it looks like, okay, he does look realistic. His hair does look like he's a little older, and it gives him more texture to make him look better. Plus, then they were showing how the players look on the field and like the EA sports soccer thing going on there. And you see the one part where the guy is playing the footy ball, as they would say, the soccer. I'll say soccer because I'm in America. And he DLSS 5 off, he looks like an animated character. You look at it with DLSS 5 on, he looks damn fucking realistic. And what do people want when they play their footy ball games and football and baseball and all that, and hockey? They want their characters and they want their games to look as realistic as fucking possible. When I buy consoles, I buy a basketball game with my new console. Like I buy that, the NBA game and stuff like that. I want my characters to look as real fucking realistic as possible. Imagine if they made a new boxing game, if they made a new fight night or something, and they utilize this technology. You see your boxers from before or whatever, or a UFC game and stuff. The textures, making them more realistic. It's like watching a real fight go down. I think this technology's got potential. I think this has some great potential. I'm looking at these characters. I'm like, and the characters themselves, the people, I'm not saying actors. I almost said actors. I mean the actual sports players here. When they look at themselves in the game and they turn on DLSS 5 on or something, and with the technology on compared to off, they're gonna go, "Oh damn, it looks like me in the first one, but damn, it looks like I'm actually playing it in the second one because it looks damn realistic." Same thing with Starfield. The Starfield characters unfortunately, I have to say, they look like Bethesda characters. They're horrible. They're the most dead-eyed characters when I was playing all of Starfield or any of the Bethesda games. They always look dead-eyed. They always look like, "Hey, I'm talking here in the thing right in front of you." But you turn DLSS 5 on with this lady, and it looks like she's a real fucking lady that I'm talking to this time, not just this dead-eyed. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference in their facial looks and their eyes and stuff. You got the character there and you got the character here. I'm like, damn. It's like, damn, no wonder it took Todd Howard many years to make Starfield. That's what it looks like in the second one. So when people talk about how bad it is and how bad it looks, I think people are just, like I said, an AI deranged syndrome. They have AI deranged syndrome. I'm looking at this one lady here that they're showing off here, and I'm on the GeForce Nvidia site right now, just to let you guys know. And they're showing the one lady sitting here at the bar or something like that, and she looks like a damn video game character, an animated video game character. I swiped this over, and I'm like, damn, that's a real woman. That's a real looking bar. Everything looks more realistic. So, and I'm not going to just keep going on and on. I'm just saying, you don't have to use this technology. There's going to be a lot of stuff, and they're showing foliage and stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff that this is going to help. This depending on the graphics card technology and um, stuff, whatever they'll do with it in the future. This can maybe help a lot of games with their backgrounds, their foreground. This can probably help with more than just the characters and stuff like that. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's the characters in this," and like I said, maybe they can have this technology adapt more to what the developer wants, like with smoke, fog, this, that, and you'll be able to hopefully adjust it to the way you like it to look and play with it and stuff. And like I said, I don't think there's anything bad with this. I think this is a technology that proves that AI can be useful in some cases, and it could help some games out and help some developers out. Maybe they won't have to worry about making the highest resolution characters out there and stuff. They could still do, a damn good job making their game characters look as, realistic and their worlds as realistic, but this will help bump that up to the next level for them. Like they'll say, "Hey, we're utilizing this technology. We're adding in some of our own, maybe they'll add in some of their own coding or something for DLSS 5 tech and stuff like that to help it work with their games better. Maybe they can add some instructions or something that can make it so, oh, here you got a lesser graphical PC or console running this, but this is going to help bump this up to what we want it to look like or even better. And maybe it'll help them make their vision even more better, and they can do more stuff in the games with this technology because it's going to be so realistic and it's going to be like actual movie quality. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And this stuff I've been fascinated with for a very long time. Since I seen stuff like that tech demo that the oh, what did you call it? I forgot what it was for. Was it for the Unreal technology? I think it was Unreal Tech. And it was the Matrix. And it was that Matrix demo, which I still have, by the way. It's on a console. I should rip that shit out. And the most realisticness that it looked like. And I'm like, damn, I want that kind of game tech in my games of the future. And that's what we are striving for. Isn't that why people are making much heavier based consoles and PC tech now? Isn't that why everybody's buying these upgrades? And isn't why gamers are always complaining about, we want it to look more realistic. This looks so crappy, or this looks so crappy. And if this technology can help it make it less crappy and not have to have like a supercomputer to make your games look and run better, and this can help with that, what's wrong with that? I want to know what's wrong with that. And people say, but it's not a part of the developer's vision. It seems like a lot of developers don't really care. They seem to like and want to embrace it. It seems like the gamers, the whiny little gamers, and a lot of the gaming media out there are the ones going and doing the whining. Because you know what? Everything that people whine about, eventually they'll come around to it. Hopefully, people will come around to this. And like I said, this is just a demo. This is just early days. This is something that they just created because they wanted to create it, and they wanted a next gen thing to add to their next gen graphics cards that they want to sell us all. And like I said, I think this is something that is pretty cool looking. If this comes to fruition and it works with like most games out there, and like I said, you'll be able to turn it on or off, and maybe they'll have some settings that you can change up in that thing so you can make the games this way, more that way, whatever, to your liking. Why not? Why not? I have no problems with it. I think that people should just give it wait and see, give it a chance. There's a lot of games coming out in the near future that I would love to see this tech with, especially, like I said, I want to see it with Minecraft, an old game that's been around for a very long time that could have used a little bump up feature, And everybody's always trying to make clean faces with their characters and make clean this and do this and that and make their characters and doing these mods that makes the game look more realistic and all that. Well, here you go, guys. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to create patches and mods and tools to do all that stuff anymore. This technology will be able to do it for you. This will help you make those clean faces, change up the way that everything looks, upres everything with the AI stuff. And people got to be more thankful for that. You know, like I said, wait and see. I'm for it. I am very much for it. I know a lot of people are against it. And frankly, I think they're wrong. I think they're just set in their ways and they need to grow up and start enjoying games. See, people take things like video games and stuff too seriously. When people start taking video games and movies way too seriously, I just go and look at them like, wow, you really are out of touch and out of the world. For me, I'm just happy to see this technology be around, you know? Me, since I was a little kid to now, I'm like, wow, what an advancement in technology we had. I just think back of what I used to play and all that. And I'm like, I don't want to play these 8-bit pieces of crap anymore. Sure, Mario Brothers and stuff and Super Mario Brothers 3 and stuff and all that. It was fun, but damn, I can play realistic looking games now with cool stuff in them. And wow, the vision, whatever, the future is here. And I like it, same with movies. People complain about all that stuff. I just want to be entertained. I don't care if it's a crappy movie or not. It could be funny and fun still, you know, with being a crappy story and everything else. You know, I enjoy because a lot of these so-called game people out there, these game reviewers slash industry types, they were all complaining about the Super Mario movie and stuff and saying, oh, that was a crappy, boring movie. Chris Pratt sucks. And I'm like, damn, I love that movie. I bought that movie. I watch it a lot. It's a great movie. I can't wait till Super Mario World or Universe. What is it called? Super Mario World or Super Mario Universe? I forgot what the name was. Well, the next Mario movie. I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. And you know what? I just try to enjoy things. Trust me. I watch crappy films. I can tell you what a crappy film is. It's called oh, what was it called? I forgot because it's so crappy. Ghost Rider 2. Yes, Ghost Rider 2, a very crappy movie. I love Nicolas Cage. He's a great actor and all, but Ghost Rider 2 was a snore fest right from the beginning. Right from the fucking beginning. Another movie I didn't really like, and excuse me for I forgot the actor's name. But I hated Hellboy, the original Hellboy movies. They were boring. They sucked. People love them. I don't. Thought they were stupid. Yep. And I bet you I can name a bunch of others, but I'm not going to get into it. But here's the thing, folks. We all have our so-called tastes and differences and stuff. But we got to stop. People got to stop hating on stuff. I don't hate on everything everybody else, talks that they like about and stuff like that. But this is a technology that I can see going further and going a long way. And like I said, it's in its infancy now. It can get better. And let's just hope it gets better for cool things. I want to see cool things from this tech. I think it's going to be interesting, especially when Microsoft's going to come out with a new console in the near future, and then Sony's going to drop another console. Like, we need these consoles anyways. I think with this technology, I don't think we need these new consoles, but of course they're going to drop them anyways because that's what they do. And I can see the Switch 2 with games on Switch 2 work a lot more better. But like I said, they're not going to have this this graphics card in them. And if they say that they're going to need this next gen graphics card for this tech, obviously we're not going to see this tech in any console yet or any handheld yet. Maybe in the future, or maybe it's just going to be in PCs and we're just going to have fun with these PCs and I'll get like a 60 whatever graphics card in the future because I would want this DLSS 5 tech. And I would probably be willing to drop a few $100s for a next gen graphics card if this technology is a mainstream thing and it can work on like all games that I can play. If this can work on all the games that I can play, and then also I can change up settings in it and stuff for how it works, and if they want maybe game developers to maybe write some extra code or something to get this DLSS 5 to work the way that the developers might want it to work for them, I see why not this couldn't help. And like I said, if it doesn't look good to you and you think it's a piece of shit and you don't want it in your on your screen or whatever on your PC, then just don't turn it on. Just keep it off. No big deal. Is it a big deal? I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal that this is some awesome technology and I think it looks cool. And everybody thinks it's dumb. I think it's cool. And that's my stead on it. That's my 40 plus, almost 40-minute plus take on that, on DLSS 5 from Nvidia. I can't wait to see what they got to show us in the future. And I'm sure those graphics cards are going to be expensive if they come out anytime at all because of memory shortages and shit like that. But if I can pop in one of those bad boys in my computer in the next era, I definitely would. I definitely would if I could get DLSS 5. Let's see here. I think I forgot to put down what I was playing here, didn't I? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Did I put this all down? I think I put it all down. I forgot to put one game down on here. I could put this down right now because you know what I could do? Okay. So enough about talking about DLSS 5. If more stuff comes out about it in the future, I will definitely talk about it. All I can say is I welcome my AI DLSS 5 overlord into my life and take over my life and put me as a slave. Especially if you give me somebody like Grace in it. Yeah. Except the video game version of her, she sucks. I swear, she's slow as shit. She's weak. I hate that. They shouldn't make her like that. I have a problem with that. I don't know why. I just do. Let's see here. How is this new microphone doing? How's it sounding to you guys? I want to know. Let me know in comments. I want to hear some comments. If you're listening to this podcast, you could go to my YouTube page at youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer and comment on this video page of the podcast, the video portion, or you could go to OldFreakyGamer.com and look up other ways to contact me, like email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com and stuff like that. And plus, I'm on Blue Sky and Twitter X. You can also find me on those places at OldFreakyGamer as well. So I want to know. I want to know how I sound. I know I've been listening to myself a little bit more on my off my phone and stuff, off my PC, watching my videos and stuff. I think this microphone is a winner. I think it captures my audio of my mouth a lot better. I just got to be better at talking straight into the microphone, and I got to be a little bit more closer to the microphone with these kind of mics. Something I'm not used to, but I think it does a lot of I think it has a lot of great tech in there. I think when I scream really loudly, it does a great job of making my voice not overtone everything. It doesn't, because if I did it with my regular mic, it would just blow out everything. It would be an overblown thing. This keeps my voice from overblowing out and stuff, and it dulls it down at times and all that. I think it does a good job of that. I think I like this whole mute button on the top thing, and I think having this earphone jack where I can hear myself now better in my feedback ears is I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to having the feedback in my ears like this. And usually I don't. Usually I'm not that kind of a person. But I think this microphone's pretty good. I think for the $300 plus that I spent on it, I think it was a $300 plus good bet. A good bet on my part. I just hope this microphone lasts and it doesn't break anytime soon. Hopefully I can keep this mic for a good bunch of years in the future, because it's really expensive technology and I worry about it because it's just a microphone. I still got my other microphones for backups. I got 2 FinFine mics for backups, so just in case if this mic kaputs, but I'm hoping this mic never kaputs. It's really cool. It's a really cool mic. It really does to me, I like I said, I'm probably the worst at you know, listening to myself and hearing how I sound, but I think this microphone does the job, folks. And I know this is just a hobby and this is just something I do on a free time, but hey, why not? If you're gonna go big or go home, I'm gonna go big on this stuff. So why not? Why not? Why freaking not? So like I said, last week I got this new microphone, the Shure microphone, and the MV7 Plus. I had to look back there to see which version it is because there's so many versions of these mics. They had a $600+ Shure microphone, and I'm like, what the fuck is a $600 plus mic, $600+ microphone get me? And I didn't even want to look because it's like it's got all this and that and that. And I'm like, even 300 over $300 here is a little expensive, but I'm like, Mr. Mike, you got some money in your pocket. You can do it. You can, you know, midlife crisis, right? Midlife crisis. I've been living a midlife crisis through most of my life buying stuff. So, yeah, I think because, like I said, I do this all the time. I do this as a hobby all the time. I make videos, I record podcasts, I stream, I do all that stuff. So I figured, why freaking not? Why not? Why not have a microphone that can record me and do it well? Do it better than any other microphone where I don't blow up anything on the microphone. I don't blow up people's speakers and crackle sounds and all that other stuff. I think this is a decent mic. I think the $300 was well spent for me. Now, do I recommend the average Joe Schmo buying a $300 mic for their streaming and podcasting and stuff if they're just first starting off? Oh, fuck no. Unless if you got a good decent job like I do, and or else you got that extra birthday money or something burning a hole in your pocket and you do not mind and you want the best quality sound from your microphone. I'm sure the Shure MV7 Plus, is that right? Yeah, I got that right. The MV7 Plus. I know. My absent-mindedness too. Then I would say this is a great mic for the $300, but otherwise I would say put that money into other things, like video games and more video games and stuff like that. Which I just bought some more video games, of course. Microsoft has been having more game sales lately. And this is going to be rolling into the whole me talking about the Xbox Microsoft making bold new changes and announcements and all that other stuff going on. Um, I bought a game and I'm going to be buying a couple other games, I think. But Microsoft has been having some gaming sales on the Xbox side, and I bought Beyond Good and Evil. What is it called? The remastered collection, the remastered version, or anniversary edition. I think that's what it's called. The Beyond Good and Evil anniversary edition, where they up-resed it and did all this stuff and made it newer and stuff. They redid that. Over at Ubisoft. That was on sale. Well, it's still on sale as I'm speaking, but it might be off sale by the time this podcast is done or not. Check it out. I got it under $20. I think it was cheaper. Let me see. I should bring up my pricing here. I don't know why I don't. It's because I'm a fuddy-duddy. That's why. So it was on sale for $11.99. Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition by Ubisoft on the Xbox store, on the Microsoft Xbox store. And it's for Xbox. It's not for PC, unfortunately, because I'm sure I'd have to go to the Ubisoft store to do that. And two, that doesn't have achievements. This does. I never played this game. Now that I own it, I'm probably going to try out to play this game someday because it looked interesting. A lot of people say Beyond Good and Evil is a really good game. So I said to myself, hey, Mr. Mike, it went down from $20 to $11.99 on sale. Go buy it. Buy it. Buy it now. So, and $1.05 tax, so $13.04 altogether. We'll see. It's going to be in my digital collection, so I have another game to play on top of the other two games that I'm currently going to be buying either today or tomorrow that are just on sale because Microsoft is having a Square Enix sale going on right now, and they got the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 on sale. And shit, I should just bring this up because if I don't, I'm never going to be able to get it right. So hold on one second, folks. I am so sorry on this. Okay, you don't know I'm back. Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix is on sale for $20, down from $49.99. Currently on Xbox. It ends in 12 days. So you got some time if you're watching or listening to this podcast like on Monday, because this goes up on Monday. You got a chance to get this, but you can play it on your Xbox One, Series X and X, and Xbox Cloud Gaming, meaning basically anything you can play it on, you know. This has Kingdom Hearts Final Mix in it, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days, HD Remastered Cinematics. It also has Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth of Sleep Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Recoded HD Remastered Cinematics, and so much more in this game. And for me, I have Final Fantasy. I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 for the PlayStation, I think. Or do I have them for the original Xbox? No, I have them for the PlayStation. They're somewhere. They're somewhere for the PlayStation or PlayStation 2. Do I? No, I have them for the PlayStation 2. I don't have a PS2, folks. Not anymore. It's been a while since I had a PS2. I think it's about time I get these, and especially because you could get achievements for these games, and I never really liked Kingdom Hearts 3 that much, but I did like playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 a bit. I just never beat them. So I'm thinking maybe I should get back into playing, especially if you're getting all these Kingdom Hearts games and stuff all in this package for $20, down from $50 in the Square Enix sale. I think that's a great deal. Hence why I'm buying it right now as we speak. As I'm speaking to you right now on this podcast, I am shamelessly purchasing this for $20. And it's probably going to be like 22 something or whatever with tax. Let's see. Success! I got it. Okay, there we go. So now I own it. I will eventually play this on my Xbox or whatever, or I could play on my Raw Galley because it's a digital download onto my Xbox and I could just stream it or play it via cloud, which is great. I like how this game is available to play on the cloud. That's another great thing. I think that's a really good deal. And they got a ton of games on the Square Enix sale on the Xbox and stuff. You should go check it out. I think they have a different sale going on for the Xbox PC version of stuff here. I could check the look here. I know I'm opening up every tab here right now. I'm checking out the Xbox store. I don't know if they have, because they usually have different sales going on. Yeah, they got a Ubisoft publisher sale going on right now on the Xbox PC store side. So basically, any games you buy from the Ubisoft publisher sale, those are non-achievement games, just to let you know. You can buy them, but then you got to install the Ubisoft launcher and all that stuff to play the games. And unfortunately, that's not for me. Unless if you buy them and play them on console, then of course you could do that. But for me, I'm like, nah, that's okay. Like it says I can install this, but unfortunately, you got to install. Um, unfortunately, you got to install the Ubisoft launcher, and this doesn't give me achievements, which I think is a big no right now. Even though it's cheap, it's only 20. Like they got Star Wars Outlaws for only $20.99 here on the Xbox store, 70% off right here. But I think the whole thing is because you got to download from the Ubisoft app, and you don't get achievements for these games. And if you're like me and you're playing in the Xbox world, you want achievements. I think it's a deal breaker a little bit for me, and I think Ubisoft should get on the ball and try to get them so we can get our achievements and whatnot, and not have to install their own, app store thing going on. So, like I said, I just purchased Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. Square Enix knows what's going on. I wish I was able to play this directly on my PC handheld, or PC in general for these games, but streaming it from my console and stuff has been just fine. Playing, if I use Xbox Cloud Gaming, it's just been fine for me here. Playing it, being able to play it from my Xbox Series X and S, that's perfect for me. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Going forward here, the next game that I'm going to purchase right now that's on sale, because I have it for free with Game Pass, but I'd rather own this game. And this is another play on your Xbox One, Series X and S, or Xbox Cloud Gaming. I played a big chunk of this game. I just never beat this game either. And the way that RGG Studios is looking like it's going in a direction, and we might not see any more new Yakuza or Like a Dragon games for a while. Well, we might see another Like a Dragon game, because I heard there was one in the works or something. But anything new like that, or whatever's happening with that studio right now, whatever's happening inside there. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Another Square Enix title. I didn't know Square Enix owned or was the publisher and stuff for Sleeping Dogs. Right now, you could get it on sale for the Square Enix sale going on Xbox, which ends in 12 days, for $4.49, down from $29.99, $25.50 in savings. I'm buying this game because even though I own it through the Game Pass thing, who knows what will happen with that stuff in the long run. And I would rather own this game than worry about, anything about the past of getting them free with your Xbox Gold subscription, because that's what I own these games for. And I know, like I said, I never beat Sleeping Dogs, so I might want to get back into this and play this game, because I don't just hear, I already know that this is a kick-ass game. Oh, they also have Mind's Eye on sale for $29.99. Still too much for Mind's Eye for $30. Fuck that. But Sleeping Dogs came out in 2014, and it's the Chinese version of like a Yakuza game. It looks pretty. It was pretty fun when I played it before. I gotta go back to finish that. I don't know why I don't finish it. A lot of games that I play, I don't finish, and that's on me. That's on me. And there's, like I said, there's a bunch of other games on sale from the Square Enix publisher sale that is going on. You might want to check those out right now. Like I said, you got 12 days, so a bit less than what I was telling you now, because when you listen to this on Monday, that's a lot less days, but still, the sale will probably be going on throughout the rest of the week. So if you're watching me now or listen to the podcast now, when it goes up, then you got yourself some days to go out and try out one of these, finding one of these deals. They got like the Just Cause games on sale. They got a bunch of games. And I think that's pretty cool. And that's all going through the Microsoft thing. That's going through Microsoft and the X, or should I say, I shouldn't even though it is Microsoft, I should just say Xbox. It's going through the Xbox thing. I think Xbox has been having a lot of great sales lately on games, hence why I've been buying more and more of these games, because they're just like, oh, a few dollars here, $11 there, stuff like that. And it's like, okay, it adds up, but I'm buying a ton of games for cheap, and what would I be doing? Even, Steam has a lot of sales and stuff, but I don't know. I like I said, I'm in the ecosystem. I've been in the ecosystem for Xbox for a while now, and just seeing all these games going on sale, it's just like, that's a good deal. That's another good deal. That's another great deal. I don't see that. I never see that many great deals on the PlayStation side. And note, yes, I don't own a PlayStation currently, but I don't know if I ever see that many PlayStation games go on sale. And you could just look at the Steam side of things with the Steam store. So I said store, store. Wow, it's so hard for me to say that. And you don't see any PlayStation first party titles ever really going on sale. And if they do, they go like $5 off, $6 off, or something like that. They never go like what these guys are doing and dropping the price. And I know they feel like their games are not top notch quality, top shelf quality games still, even after years and years of being out. But come on, Sony's just kidding themselves with their whole, oh, we're just trying to keep these premium because these are our games and stuff like that. And to me, as a gamer, you're not fooling anybody. And with all this shit that they've been pulling behind the scenes with price changing and all that stuff, I don't know, folks. You guys that like to play on your PlayStations and stuff, and you, like I said, are you seeing the value coming from your PlayStation? Are you seeing the games coming from Sony that you want to play on it? Or is it still all these third-party games like from Microsoft or elsewhere that you're playing on it? Or maybe you're just playing one freaking game and spending $600 to $800 on a PlayStation 5 or PS5 Pro or something, and that's like, okay, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Not that an Xbox Series console is anywhere near cheap, especially now, but I don't know. Back in the time, it was way much better deal. I don't know. That's my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. Like I said, if Sony did better and they backed up their stuff more, I would be less offended by them. But nowadays, I just like, eh. Then they want to come out with this console and another handheld again in the future, and I'm like, them in support. I don't know. They support their consoles a long time, but once you get into the secondary category of hardware and stuff, look at that. Look at those PlayStation Pro Vision goggles and stuff, those VR goggles and stuff. Whatever happened to all that stuff? That went down quickly after they didn't really support PSVR 2. And that's what they did with the stuff with the PSPs. They supported PSPs, and then when it went to the Vita, the support just went, and they just wanted the charge arm and a leg for it and everything on it, and then the support just went to Zippo. They felt like it could sell itself for some reason. And that's when I stopped with Sony almost, as PS3, and then I tried the PS4, and I'm like, no go, brother. And PS5, I'm just like, nah, that's where they lost me. So let's talk some happy stuff about Microsoft, because Microsoft, or Xbox/Microsoft, because, a lot of things haven't been so happy about Microsoft and Xbox lately. But it seems like there's stuff in the works that makes me more hopeful as a Xbox and PC gamer on the Xbox side. Microsoft's full screen Xbox mode will roll out to Windows 11 PCs in April, meaning you will have a nice little Windows 11 version of big picture mode for Xbox, and that the big screen Xbox UI is heading to Windows 11 devices, including laptops and desktops. And it's just simply called Xbox mode. So they state that Xbox mode will only be available in select markets at first, and Microsoft describes it as bringing a controller optimized experience to your Windows 11 device, letting players browse their library, launch games, use Game Bar, and switch between apps, just like how I do on my Xbox Raw Galley X, folks. So it's doing that, and it's just making it where it will optimize your gaming experience for what gaming machine or PC that you're running on. Let's see here. The company also noted that its task switcher will let people quickly move between games as well as their apps. So that's always good. I guess they're going to reveal more information down the road. And of course, CEO of Xbox now, Asha Sharma is all over this stuff, learning stuff. She's learning. So I'm gonna let her learn. I'm not gonna cut her. I'm not gonna cut her off right away. I have my doubts, but if she doesn't fuck things up and she tries hard to do a good job, I'll welcome her with open arms. Then, as a gamer, as a guy gamer here, I'll welcome her. I'll welcome her with open arms, and I'm still gonna be mourning Mr. Phil Spencer. I'm gonna miss him dearly from the Xbox community and stuff like that. I liked his spiciness and prowessness, but times change, folks. Times change. And I bet, and because I don't know, do you know who's even the leaders of like the PlayStation group? Do they got anybody that you can even understand who they are? No, probably not. You don't understand the leadership there. At least with Nintendo, you still got some people, like you got Miyamoto's still there for now. What was that other guy's name? I forgot. Is it Watto? Manoto? I forgot his name. He was another Nintendo, like head of Nintendo or something like that. But basically, at least we can still see. Oh, we know who's running Xbox. Asha Sharma, ex AI lady, but she was only doing AI for like a couple years, so hence she probably wasn't doing that much. But she was at other places as well. So let's see how long she lasts. But I'll give her a chance. Also, Xbox backwards compatibility program is coming back this year. Remember when they were talking about that the whole, or Phil Spencer famously announced the Xbox backwards compatibility program back in 2015, and it has been a core part of Xbox experience ever since. And yes, I, as an Xbox fan, am very passionate about my backwards compatibility and my games that I could continue to play from the old to now and stuff like that. Look at stuff like Sleepy Dogs and stuff like that. And let's just say I was trying out a little thing like Cameo and stuff like that, which are backwards compatible games that are brought to be able to be played into the future and stuff like that. And apparently, you remember when they were saying that there were going to be no more new games that were planned in 2021 and beyond because of legal issues and licensing? Well, apparently during the keynote at GDC this year, or the Games Developers Conference, the Xbox team surprised fans with an announcement that the Xbox backwards compatibility program is returning in some form later this year, noting that it's rolling out new ways to play some of the iconic games from our past. Now, I wonder if they're going to do some sort of emulation or something like that. That, you know, I'm not saying AI, but I wonder if they're going to do some emulation where these games will be able, if they're digital games, I'm not saying your physical games and backwards compatibility, but if you own these games digitally in your library, I wonder if they can somehow emulate them to be playable on your future generation and maybe PC. That's what they're maybe saying here. They stated that we are committed to keeping games from our 4 generations of Xbox playable for years to come. You remember Sony used to be like that. They used to be all about the backwards compatibility, from PS1 to PS2, PS2 and 1 to PS3 for a little bit. And then they just dropped it off just like that. They just clicked it off right there. And, when they brought out the new PS3s, they stopped doing the backwards compatible PS3s to PS2 and PS1. Oh, well, I thought they could still play PS1 games, but it was PS2 games because they took out the, what was it, the reality chip or something it was called, which was the thing that they needed for the PS2 games to run and stuff. And they took it out to save some money and stuff. And then after that, it was PS4 and stuff. They never really brought back their backwards compatibility at all. I think they might have done some of it in software and streaming and stuff, but they really have not really been big on backwards compatibility on Sony PlayStation games. Microsoft, on the other hand, is, which is surprising because this is something that you would think, oh, maybe this would have died with Phil Spencer, but I guess not. So 4 generations of Xbox playable for years to come. As part of their 25th anniversary later this year, we will be rolling out new ways to play some of the most iconic games from our past, wrote Vice President of Next Generation Jason Rowland in a summary of the presentation. This news comes at a time, of course, when Microsoft announced the Xbox mode is coming to Windows 11 PCs next month, which is rebranded version of the Xbox full screen experience, which of course came to the Xbox ROG Ally X. And the firm has also revealed it's developing a unified gaming development kit, or GDK, which allows developers to easily build games for the PC and Xbox simultaneously, supporting the console PC hybrid nature that is upcoming with Project Helix and beyond. So they are trying new ways to try to bring in new, simpler ways to make the games for the next generation and beyond. Even if the developers are making games for PC or whatever, these games will also be like Xbox games as well. So, they're trying to do a lot with that. And I'm glad. I think that's a good idea. And I'm hoping a lot of these, I know they're mostly going to be first party games that are going to be probably rolling out at the start here for this Xbox backwards compatibility mode and stuff like that. If they are really going to let us play our Xbox and Xbox 360 games and beyond on our PCs, hopefully that means that I know it's going to be first party first, and then maybe they'll try to do some emulation work where they don't need to relicense the games, because if you already own the games, and then you can be able to emulate and play them on a PC or something in the near future, because I wouldn't see why not, because the emulation is their software. It's all on their software. They're not trying to resell these games. They're not trying to change the games in any way. They're just a new piece of hardware that people can play these games on. And if you already own the games, you should be allowed to play these games. Like, I should be able to play like every game I own. And I know I got a lot of physical games there, but if I had them digitally, I should be able to play most of those games on whatever Xbox or PC device that I have in the future. Because, of course, like they used to say, but they're not saying anymore, and I'll talk about this soon, Xbox Play Anywhere. Which is still kind of the thing going forward, but people don't want to admit that, and people hate that whole idea of Xbox Play Anywhere. But I liked it. And this article also says the same thing about the 25th anniversary, that they're gonna Xbox teases some iconic games from the past to be re-released in 2026 from its game preservation team. And I don't know if these people are right. I think it's basically maybe they're going to use some AI, and because they were talking about that technology, the AI tech that was up-resing the games and making them look really good and playable for, like, next generation with auto HDR and frames per second boost and all that stuff. I But this is going beyond that. This is going like, oh, these games will probably be playable on my Series X console, maybe my PC and my Raw Galley X and stuff like that. So, stuff like that. Yeah, but they basically killed off that whole Xbox Play Anywhere campaign. That's what everybody's been saying, but some people have been saying, hey, that's still the thing. And that's what I'm saying. They're still talking about, hey, you can game on your Xbox, you can game on your PC, you can game on the cloud, you can remote play to any of your devices, your tablets, your phones, TVs, smartwatches, anything that has internet that you can hook up a Bluetooth controller to and stuff. You should be able to game your Xbox games on it if you got a good wireless internet connection and stuff, or physical if you got it directly connected to it. So technically, Xbox does play anywhere if you're able to play most of these games on cloud or this or that. So I never felt like that was a bad, thing. I understood what they meant by Xbox Plays Anywhere. I understood that there was still a lot of games that didn't play everywhere or be able to play everywhere or in certain ways. And like I said, I can basically play most of my games anywhere because, like I said, if I can play them on my Xbox, I can remote play them anywhere. So technically, you can play those games anywhere, folks. Loophole. I know it's a loophole, but still, I keep saying this, and I'm going to say this to the fucking day I die, or unless if they stop doing remote play, but you can fucking remote play your Xbox games onto any device that you can do cloud gaming with. If you have the app on your phone, tablet, PC, etc., etc. I got on my Raw Galley, which I remote play all the time, and I can remote play any game on my catalog. So technically, that's true. And I know a lot of people say, no, that's not true. You can't natively play this game on your PC and stuff, blah, 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 blah. Why does it have to be natively? Why can't you play it through the cloud or remote play? Why doesn't that not count? Why can't that not count? You're logging into your Xbox. You're playing the game. You're playing it somewhere else. It could be at your house. It could be at your friend's house. It could be overseas in Japan. As long as you got a good internet connection and the thing doesn't slow down or whatever, technically you can play that game anywhere. So another thing, people should not complain about the nitty gritty picky stuff, because frankly, you can play that game anywhere. So Xbox has officially killed off Project Moorcroft. I do not know what this is too much. I basically had to read it up, and it's basically Project Moorcroft was a program for bringing game demos to Xbox Game Pass. I guess it's officially dead. I did not know that. While the initiative never materialized in its intentionally promised form, Xbox insists that it's still supporting demos in other ways. I can understand this because a lot of game developers probably didn't want to make game demos of their games because sometimes that's a little too hard for some people or takes up too much resources and time to do so. I know they used to try to do that back on the Xbox side, where they were trying to get, like, I think this was during the Xbox One era, where they were like, oh, we're trying to bring game demos to your Xboxes so you can try them out and play them before you buy them and stuff. And I always felt like, oh, that's cool. I would love to do that, but I never understood back in the day that, because I was in my infancy too. I didn't understand that, oh, that took a lot more resources and time away from the developers trying to finish up the game, making the game ready to purchase. But then I also think, well, why can't they make a demo? It doesn't have to be a perfect demo. They could just have like a cross off point where, oh, the players will hit a wall at this point and there's the demo over, game over, demo over. But I can understand why maybe they don't want to do that. But otherwise I can see, like, in the day and age and day where we're at now, we pretty much want to know what the game plays like and looks like before we buy it, because games are way more expensive at 70 plus dollars. So if you're investing more into this stuff, you're going to want to you want to know what kind of game you're buying. So, like I was always saying, I want to know what games I'm buying. And Game Pass is always that best way for me to know what games I'm buying. So if I'm playing a game on Game Pass and I like it enough and I know I want to, keep it longer than what if it's on Game Pass or something, I will buy that certain game or something. Sometimes I'll buy games off of Game Pass regularly. Sometimes I won't, but it depends. Is this a game worthwhile? Another reason why they probably killed it too was because you can also, and this is another tactic that I use to know if I want to buy a game or not, you can just go on YouTube. Other people are playing that game. You can just watch a gaming walkthrough of that game. And you don't have to watch the whole walkthrough, but you could just watch part of that game if you want to see if it's something that is up your alley or not. And there's a lot of people doing game streaming. I do a lot of games that I play and stream and first gameplays of this and that. That's why I do first gameplays, folks. When the new game comes out and I do a first gameplay of that said game, if I buy a new game when it comes out, like I am going to do with this upcoming The Life is Strange reunion, I'm going to do a first gameplay of it. And when I say first gameplay, I mean this is my first gameplay of that game. So when you're watching me play that game, you're watching me play from the beginning when I boot up that game and start it up. I load it up, set the settings, all that stuff, and then I start playing the game. And no matter what happens, that is my first gameplay of that game. That's the first impressions of that game. And usually if you don't like what you see in your first impressions of a game, sometimes you just don't want to buy that game. Now, that's not always good. That's only judging the book by its cover half the time. But unless if you want to see and get, like a lot of people say, they don't want to get the game ruined from, they don't want the surprises ruined from them. A lot of times people will not want to get spoiled on seeing what's going on in the future. But to me, I think seeing a little bit of that stuff is okay. And like I said, game demos were cool. It was a cool idea, but like I said, it's not like games of yesteryear where they were just little pixelated games and they were easy to maybe make game demos for. Now they're much busier out there. So I understand. And other stuff for Microsoft. The final thing that I saw here was Xbox is making some more changes to the Microsoft Store. Xbox is taking steps to give more indie games a higher degree of visibility on the Xbox Microsoft Store, offering up a wider selection of games for players and giving independent developers a better chance of reaching out to them. The Xbox brand has been working for years to build a strong relationship with the indie dev community, and this change to its digital storefront is meant to ensure fairer practices of showing off games to potential customers. Unlike Steam, where they just throw a bunch of shit on there or paid shit, and like Sony and everybody else, and sometimes that stuff gets lost in the shuffle. I've been seeing, and this is where I've been finding out about some new like games from indie developers and stuff. I've been actually finding them on, like on the Xbox store, the Microsoft store and stuff, and I will see these games. I'm like, I never heard of this game. Who is this game by? It's probably from some indie dev. Like I never heard of them. There might be some Asian, Chinese thing or Japanese thing, stuff like that too. And I'll get interested. I'll watch it or I'll check it out. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'll see it like posted there in the like the storefronts and stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's not like a Resident Evil Requiem or something like that, or one of these big flashier titles. This is a indie title. This is a game for like made by a single person and stuff like that. And to me that makes it feel like, oh, okay, they really still do care about their indies, and they're trying to help them along in their journeys to be profitable and be able to make more games. And if they're going to make more games, they're going to want to hopefully publish those games on an Xbox platform instead of a Steam or a PlayStation or a Nintendo Switch, which a lot of people have been doing lately, is publishing more on the Switch too, and PlayStation, and passing Xbox by. But if Xbox can make a broader situation and say, hey, indies, we got this whole Xbox store, we'll put you on front page and stuff like that, maybe that might help them out a bit more. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, so that was the last of the Xbox talk there. Before we get into the games news, yes, we're almost at the games news. I got some games to talk about that I have played in the past week, if this comes up. And we're going to get into that now. We're going to get through this a little faster today because I got some other stuff going on. So, yes, this might be a smaller episode, a semi-smaller. This might still get up to 2 hours, but I've been doing a little bit better here. It's been a lesser, there's less games news this week than we had previously and other times. So why don't we get into the games that I played, and that'll be next.
The games that have been played in the past week.
So the games that I've been playing in the past week, as you can tell right off the start, especially if you read the show notes of this episode, if you're watching this on video, you can see the show notes below, wherever video you're watching on. If you're watching on youtube.com, on the OldFreakyGamer channel, or if you're watching at OldFreakyGamer.com, you will see the show notes. Or if you got a major podcast app and you're listening to this episode on your favorite podcast app, most of them have a little show notes feed on the bottom, and you can see what I am talking about and what games I played and stuff like that. And if you're interested in that stuff, you can look it up and maybe buy some games for yourself or whatever, or learn some stuff. So I do some nice little show notes for you guys. So each and every week when I do a podcast, if people didn't know that. So of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, I've been streaming that each and every week. I'm actually recording this podcast on Thursday this week. Yes, I'm recording this really early this week. That's because I said there was not that much gaming news except for the DLSS 5 Nvidia stuff and some Xbox stuff going on. But I'm like, yeah, let's do a podcast early this weekend. Then I can have the weekend for some more extra gaming fun. And I got to start recording my next game through game, which I'm not going to mention here and now, but I will in time. I don't think I'm going to get any of that out before my final episode of game through of the Life is Strange. What's it called? Life is Strange Double Exposure gets out, because I think there's one more episode left of that. And there might be a little hiatus. And then hopefully, depending on when I beat this other game, if I ever beat this game, because I'm very scared of playing this game. It's not a scary game. It's just a scary made game. But you'll find out. You'll find out when that comes to bit flourishing. But I've been streaming this, and like I said, I'll be pretty much getting ready to stream this game this Friday. That's tomorrow. We'll be playing hopefully like 3 hours of this game, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which I still got a ton of game left, which is great because I've been having tons of fun. Like I said, this is like watching and playing a movie, and a really good movie. And I've been having fun with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and it's a really great game. It's a really good Final Fantasy. I cannot wait till when this is done. Then I can play, when that comes out in June, I can play what's it called? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, I think it's called Rebirth. And then After that, then we'll have the third chapter eventually coming of Final Fantasy VII, and that's going to be released simultaneously on all platforms at once. So that's going to be great. So I don't have to wait for that one after. We'll all get it at the same time and finish up the story all together. So yes, but this has been fun. This has been a fun game. I've been playing this each and every Friday. I will continue to play this till it's done. Or if I play something else. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, highly recommend from me, Mr. Mike. Great JRPG. Been slumming it around in Assassin's Creed Shadows with Naomi. You know what I've been doing, jumping and still, taking over territories and stuff, and jumping on the toppest peaks and grabbing the hawk, what do you call them? Synchronizations. That's what I've been still doing. There's still a lot of those to do in the game, but like I said, eventually I will be getting in just back into the story and just playing the story. I just want to, like I said, get as much land out there as possible, so when I do the missions, I'm like, oh, I can find this, I can find that, because it's all going to show up on the map. That has been my strategy. Plus, it's fun when I'm just raiding castles and taking out super samurais and stuff like that, and collecting chests of stuff and all that, and just being a badass bitch. See, Naoe, yeah, there we go. Naoe, she's way better than Claire. Or why am I calling her Claire? Yeah. Yes, I'm very stupid, folks. I had to pause because I called her Claire. Grace. See, that's how much I don't like that character. Because Grace just makes me go, I wish she could be better. She's got the hotness, but she's got the. But then you got Naomi. She's hot and she kicks ass and takes names. If you put Naomi in a Resident Evil game, I bet you she'd take out those swords and chop those zombies' heads off left and right. No zombie would be safe. Not even the big motherfuckers. They'd be like, and I just see her doing her little jumpy spinning thing with the knives and stuff. Oh, that'd be so fucking awesome. And Naomi they had a cross thing going on with Ubisoft and and Capcom, and they put each character in a different game. Oh, that'd be so fucked up, but it would be great if I could put Naomi in that. Or you could put Yusuf in that as well. Oh man, but shit, Naomi, she's a badass bitch, and I like her. I like badass bitches. I don't like scaredy, whiny women. I'm sorry. I got one of those here at home. I don't need to be playing that. I'm sorry. It's not me. I'm not trying to be mean or rude or, whatever. It's just, I can't play that in the game. That's another one of those reasons why I can't play that game. It's just, Grace, no. No, Grace, no. But been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows remotely, streamed from my Xbox to my Xbox ROG Ally X. So there you go. TCG Card Shop Simulator. I know you probably watched my video. I have it. It's the game. They say it's in game preview, but it's pretty good in game preview. I've been playing on PC. I did a Let's Play of it. Eventually, I'll do another Let's Play of it. It's like Supermarket Simulator, but even more fun because you're got cards, you're selling cards and books and all that stuff. You can collect cards. Eventually, they'll let you be able to play the cards in the card games and such. It's a great game. It's a fun game. I've been playing that countless times. And being on Game Pass, it just makes it a whole lot easier for me to play the game. And, progress through it because, Game Pass, I pay for it separately and I get games like this to play on it. Very fun. Very fun. And Game Pass TCG Card Shop Simulator, that is a definite fun affair. Check it out. Also been doing a little Persona 4 Golden gaming, folks. I know they got the remaster coming eventually, but I've been having fun with the original on my Xbox ROG Ally X. I got a lot farther than I ever did playing the game on my Vita or the first time I've been playing it on this on the Rogue Ally when I was starting it off on the Rogue Ally. It's now I'm now I'm farther than ever in the game. I'm getting not to the end, but I'm getting closer to the end. I'm getting one step closer. I'm on the what's her name? Rise. I'm on the Rise section. You know who Rise is? She's that famous girl actress model that they come across down the road where she gets pulled into the TV and all that stuff. I'm on that section right now. I'm on the Rise storyline, let's per se. So I'm getting there. I'm getting pretty close. And if I could beat Persona 4 Golden, then that's going to be great. And then I'll go back. I'll go back in time and I'll start playing Persona 3 Reload because I have that game. And I started it a little bit. I started the very beginning, but maybe I'll restart it again just to, get my hands, get understand the story again. But I did start it and played it a little bit, but maybe I'll get, like I said, I'll get back into that and I'll play it some more after beating Persona 4 Golden. But happy about that because the only Persona game I beat was Royale, Persona 5 Royale. But going backwards seems like to be an interesting notion. Instead of going from the beginning and going forwards to Persona 5, I started off playing Persona 5 Royale, beating that, and now I'm going back to well, I did start Persona 4 before, or Persona 4 Golden before Persona 5 Royale ever was a thing. But like I said, I played on the Vita and I never beat it. So then when Persona 5 Royale came out and I played that and I beat that on the Xbox, then I'm like, well, I'm going to go back to Persona 4 Golden. And I'm like, and after watching the anime of Persona 4, the anime, it just got me wanting to go back in and play and beat Persona 4 Golden. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm playing that on my Xbox Rogue X. Not remotely, but as a PC game, because it's a PC game that you can get and purchase on for your PC in the Xbox store. So yes, great game, folks. And it's a great game. It's great stories, great game. Very adult, of course, for some high schooler kids, but yeah. Still also playing in this game. It gets brutal, this game. In the achievements that I get from this game, Battletoads, and I can understand why people didn't like Battletoads that much because they do a lot of crazy fucking shit later on in this game. And I can understand why people don't like it because they just change things up and they don't really provide much of a context on how to do certain things in the game. But I've been playing Battletoads, and it seems like I got farther than a lot of people have ever did in this game. And I think I eventually will beat Battletoads. And I've been playing this remotely from my Series X2 onto my ROG Ally X handheld. And at points, it's really fun and funny. At other points, it's just like, what am I doing? It's confusing as shit and whatever. Right now, I got the the evil lady, whatever her name is. She's in the stomach of these like godlike guardian thingies, these whatever things, and she's got all these other ghosts like things that these guardian gods ate them as well. And now she's in their stomach and she's trying to give the one god really bad stomach pains and stuff. She's fucking up his stomach lining and stuff like that inside. And I'm like, yeah, this game goes places, doesn't it? This game goes fucking places, doesn't it? Battletoads. It's a game, and I'm gonna play it and beat it eventually. Like I said, it has its fun points, but then it has this weird whatever, what the fuck is this shit point? Like, it'll have its little Space Invaders time, and it had a great side-scrolling beat 'em up kind of thing. But then when it gets into this other stuff, I'm just like, what is this? What is that? But otherwise, it's okay. It's okay. Battletoads is okay. I'll finish it eventually. And like I said, I've been remote playing that from my Series X to my Xbox ROG Ally X. Also been playing more Minecraft Java Edition, which there will be a Let's Play of that coming up this week. if I ever finish it. I won't say no more about that, but been playing that. Having fun digging. I'm digging a channel right now, an underground channel for my minecart cavern, so I can go minecart back and forth to different areas of my Minecraft world without getting harassed by the undead zombies and stuff like that. Of course, it's Minecraft. It's a Java version of Minecraft. It's in the container, hence why they put the Java version in the container of that. Eh, it's Minecraft. Maybe eventually we can get some DLSS 5 to DLSS 5 that shit up, baby. People are probably going to hate me for saying that. I want a DLSS 5 my Minecraft, baby. That's what I want. But Minecraft, still fun. Still fun on PC. Still fun in Java version. Unfortunately, they have the Stingray still in the sky in that version. Hate that Stingray. And then finally, the final game that I've been playing still on and off occasion, depending on the days, I'll switch between different games. I know it sounds stupid on why I do that, but I do sometimes because some days I'm more into playing this game or into playing that game. Well, I've been playing some more Powerwash Simulator 2 on my Xbox ROG Ally X. Having fun spraying the ancient things. It's like the ancient site or whatever they want to call it. It's really fun. It's a really, really fun time with that. Something about power washing that's just really soothing. My ex was watching me play it, and she was saying, "Oh, that game looks boring. Why do you want to come back from work at cleaning at work and stuff all the time and doing all the stuff at work to just be playing a cleaning game?" I'm like, "But girl, it's a really good cleaning game." And being my ex, why she's my ex, goes, it seems boring to me. I don't understand why you would want to play a game like that if it's a stupid game about cleaning." And I'm like, well, then, because you're not a gamer, you will never know, because she would never play this game. She doesn't play any games, so she would never know. Another reason why she's my ex. Yep. And I'm not going to get into more reasons why she still lives in my house. Let's just say there we go. Anywho, folks, those were the games that I played from this past week. Now let's get into the final section. Yes, the final section, folks. We only got a few news stories here, but hey, we'll get through them. Easily. There's only a few here. So why don't we get into the games news? That is the games news of the show.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game talk news, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game talk news, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
There we go. I'm just gonna cut it off right there, like I always say. So Steam in more trouble. Man, Valve, Steam. Sheesh. Gabe Newell can't get a break. He's getting sued left and right by every country, nation, town, city. Now he's being investigated by the FBI in this. What the fuck, Steam? Steam can't get a break. See, because they've been the loner dog on the PC for so long now. People don't like that. People don't like it that they're just the chill company and they're not doing more and stuff or less of stuff. And now you're being investigated by the FBI. Man, one thing after another. Gabe, getting rich isn't always the best thing. Anywho, they are being, or the FBI has launched an official investigation into several games on Steam, targeting a group of games containing malware that have plagued the online marketplace. And the storefront operated by Valve has stood as one of the largest gaming platforms since its debut in 2004, featuring more than 100,000 different games available for purchase on Steam that offers everything from AAA games to the largest studios to a wide variety of indie games, with Valve often helping to promote and push games from smaller developers. It has been a little less since then, but okay. They still do their indie developer section and stuff like that, but still, I think they could do a little bit more with that. But however, Steam's literary of games has played host to plenty of scandals throughout more of 2 decades. Steam's widespread popularity has invited a host of bad actors who have plagued the storefront throughout the storied history, because I guess they don't scan and check the games at all, because they're still small, Valve and stuff, they're still small, but you would think they would have a better way to see what games are legit or not legit and stuff. They should do a little bit better job of that, especially when you're one of the biggest PC storefronts on the internet. You should do a better job, Gabe. You got all that money. You got the time, the resources to put into making your storefront safer for people like me to buy games on. Thank you. So the open nature of Steam Workshop has been a major source of malicious attacks on unsuspecting players. In some cases, Valve has also regularly taken down games looking to scam users, often posing as legitimate game releases while trying to steal information from players. Now the FBI is taking matters into its own hands with a full-scale investigation of several Steam games. While fans discovered malware in specific mods of Schedule 1, the game has no Steam Workshop page. The developers are not involved in mod creation, and these are only obtainable via third-party sites. See, that's the good and the bad about video games and PC gaming. The mod scene. So a lot of mods are good. I like to mod a lot of my games and use mods for my games. And then there are some mods that if you go to these really sketchy sites that you do not know about, those could be bad. And that's what they're doing. So the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation officially announced a new inspection into the 7 different Steam games. The FBI notes that 7 games falling under scrutiny for containing malware, naming Block Blasters, Chemia, Dashverse / first person shooter, I guess that's what it's called, FPS, Lampy, Lunara, Pirate Fee, and Token Nova. As part of the investigation, the agency is looking to identify victims of the Steam malware attack, with those users potentially eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under the United States federal and state law. The official documents for the investigation also suggest that the 7 games cited within the official documents are likely being handled by the same person or group. So this is like a whole Steam thing. So how come Steam didn't figure out about this stuff? Or you would think they would do, like I said, I know it's probably hard to nearly impossible, but you'd think Gabe Newell, which he's the main creator and owner of Valve and Steam, would be able to put some more resources into stuff like that to keep the malware and the bad actors at bay from that. You know what I mean? Seems like the multi-billionaire Gabe Newell should, instead of buying more yacht companies and such, and building more yachts and stuff, and buying yacht companies and stuff, maybe putting some more money into his main business that is Steam. Maybe hire some more people there that are good at doing that stuff and keeping malware and junk out of Steam and Steam store. I don't know. Just a thought. I know we all think of him as Gabe Newell, the god of gaming and stuff for the PC, but And all the people say, "Oh, with the Steam OS that they're working on and him doing all this Steam hardware and the Gabe." Even I joked about the Gabe Cube and stuff. But then there's the part of me that says he could do more. He could do more for protecting people from certain games on Steam. He could do more. When you got people like Google and everybody else that does that stuff, Steam they've been around for a long time now. They should be doing better with that stuff. Gabe, you could do better. Do better, buddy. Do better, please. Do better. Yeah, I told Gabe to do better. So, $80 video games may not be the inevitability that we assumed. So, a year ago, it seemed like it would be a given that we would soon be paying $80 for our games. And this was even before Nintendo had announced that it would break the price barrier and sell Mario Kart World at that price, which I still say is the biggest ripoff in forever. And I will never spend $80 on Mario Kart World. No, 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 no. There was growing pressure and worry in the game industry over inflation and the rapid rising cost of game development versus stagnant growth in the market and pricing that had been locked for years. Blockbuster game development was starting to look unsustainable. It still kind of seems like that if you're a bigger AAA game, of course. The shift felt inevitable, but it hasn't really come to pass. Well, the industry holds its breath, waiting for whatever Rockstar Games decides to price Grand Theft Auto 6, which I'm sure is going to be $70. I don't think they're going to charge $80 for that game. I really don't. If they did, that would be something. That would be interesting if they did that. But I think they're going to charge $70. I think it's going to be like $69, $99, $70. That's my prediction right there. It's nothing concrete, but that's my prediction for GTA 6. So yeah. So I don't know. So everybody else backed down, like Microsoft when they scrapped the $80 pricing for, the Outer Worlds 2, which also hurt them and hurt the sales of Outer Worlds 2 because they were originally charging 80 and people thought they were still charging 80. And then they decided not to buy the game and that kind of hurt them. Also for games like that thrust the question of why games are $70+ or $80 when you got games like Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which was Sandfall's Interactive's breakout role-playing game. Clair Obscur's success is conspicuous. It sold very well, if not outstandingly so. Swept every Game of the Year award going. Even secured its development team a French knighthood. It's a large-scale, graphically rich adventure, and it only costs $50. Yes, you can make great games and sell them for less than $70, folks. Like I said, Clair Obscur is only $50. Now, note, I did not like Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I did not care for the game too much or the gameplay of it or the beginning of the story, but I still say, wow, they did a really good job of making that game. But, maybe other people should take note on that, and maybe other people should maybe look into some different kind of things that might help make their games be better, but not have to take them 5+ years to make these games. It should be like 3-4 years tops to make a game, if that. And 2, they should be around maybe $60 a game. If they went back down to like $60 a game or something like that, I think a lot more people would be willing to buy more games. And on top of it, if you didn't try to push, you don't have to push the graphics. Like I always said, and this was me always saying it, pushing graphics all the time, pushing this and that, and trying to add so much to replayability always seemed to me as a lot of waste. Like everybody trying to add multiplayer to their games. You don't need to do that. Once a person buys your game for like $70, who cares? If that's what's for the game, or if you felt like, oh, this game isn't worth $70 if we don't put in multiplayer. How about this? Don't charge $70, charge $60 for it. And then you'll get not only twice as many people because they'll be like, oh, this game's only $60 and it's really good. You're not putting in any of that multiplayer splut that nobody's going to ever play in your games. Like what they did with Tomb Raider and stuff, nobody ever played that online stuff because nobody cared. And if you're going to charge like 70 or $80 for video games, not many people are going to be buying them. Not many people are buying many games at all anyways. So of course this is something that's been going on, and of course nobody's going to be going back to the $80 price point. Like I said, if they start charging 70 or 60 or $50 for games again, I would not be surprised. Just to get people back on that bandwagon, maybe they'll have to cut those production costs down a little bit and, dumb down some stuff. Like I said, folks, they don't have to make them as graphically intense as they want to do, because you got a little thing up here. See, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, it says Nvidia DLSS 5. Put that tech into your next gen consoles. Put that tech, when that tech comes out for next gen stuff, hardware and graphics cards. Just saying. Because eventually AMD might come out with that kind of stuff as well. And like I said, could be in your future consoles and stuff. And if that could help maybe make games look a bit better and stuff and not need to be in the cooker as long. It's a little shortcut. Just saying. And maybe it could help a bit better. Or maybe you don't want it on and then you don't have to have it on. Like I said, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This could be proof to help make some games come out a little faster. Just saying. So apparently the ROG Xbox Ally X is about to get even better. I didn't know my device could get any better. Apparently the Xbox ROG Ally X is set to get even better next month after Microsoft confirmed that the handheld device will receive an automatic super resolution update. Auto SR is an upcoming update which will feature on the ROG Xbox Ally X. Woohoo! I know what this is. Devices to perform at even higher frame rates without suffering a significant hit in visuals. The ROG Ally X first debuted back in 2025 at which was collaboration between Asus and Microsoft, launched at $1,000. And of course they had the small, a lesser version of it, which nobody talks about because nobody wants to buy it because it's not as powerful and blah, 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 blah. And I could go on and on about it. So basically, it's getting super resolution, leverages AI to scale resolution up in real time to improve performance. Auto SR fills the gaps by existing upscaling tools like DLSS. That's great. So basically making more frames faster, better resolution, even though it's not really like that. But yeah, I'm really happy for this. I'm really happy and interested on this because like I said, I have an Xbox ROG Ally X, and if this is going to improve fidelity and graphics and stuff like that using this AI technique and stuff, bring it on. Bring it on. This is why I think sometimes AI is a good thing. And like they said, everybody always says, and I'm going to say this now, did they say this is going to be on by default, or is this going to just be, I'm just trying to read, where did it say that? Gives the lineup gives gamers more options to play PC titles anywhere they want, with enough power to ensure they'll be able to play most of their games without compromising too much of the visual fidelity. These devices run Windows 11, blah, 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 blah. Auto SR. So basically auto super resolution. So you can turn it on or you can keep it off. That is something that you'll be able to do with this device. Yes, yes. So I think that's great. I think improving handheld quality gaming, making it look better, more frames per second on my device. Great. All great. Not that my games looked any worse. They looked pretty good, and this might just improve them even more. Um, you know, make them look even more realistic. Give me the give me the grace. Give me the grace tech. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes AI can be a little good thing. If they do it in the right way and they work at it and they make it and they improve it in a way that helps improve stuff like gaming and stuff. Like I said, I'm all for it, baby. I'm all for it. You might not be, but I'm all for it. Up to a point. Up to a point. And final news story, I wouldn't roll out a Pal World 2.0, says Pocket Pair Publishing head, but don't expect a No Man's Sky situation. So, Pal World maker Pocket Pair won't suddenly end major updates after upcoming release of Pal World 1.0, but the publishing head John Buckley states that big patches can't realistically go on forever, and that's understandable. They want to move on to a new game, and why not? Or even a decade. Speaking with press at GDC, Buckley recognizes a lot of our hardcore fans and players would love for Pal World to be this No Man's Sky situation where it's like a decade of continuous massive updates, but realistically, that's not probably in the cards for Pal World. Not only because the engine limitations, but also it's a survival crafting game. I think there's only so many times you can add 5 levels, add 10 levels until it gets too massive at a bloat point. Even World of Warcraft had it, the stat squash years and years ago. He points out Pal World is a linear progression. I think Pal World didn't have that progression. You could do it forever like No Man's Sky, but it's gonna have to stop at some point, and then we can think about what comes after. And that's exciting for us. The 1.0 update will be a big milestone for Pal World, but not necessarily its last significant one. And he stated, I will not roll out a Pal World 2. Pondering the future of the game, it really depends on what we can do with the game at the moment and how we can expand on it without making it feel boring. Not only boring, but how we can expand while being approachable. Pal World can only become so big before the console versions start running into problems for one reason or another. Another concern Buckley states is making Pal World too big and too intimidating for newer casual players. The 65 existing levels of content, which the 1.0 update will greatly expand, is already 20 to 30 hours of gameplay. At a very bare minimum, he estimates how much more can you stretch that until it gets to a point where more casual players feel like it's a chore. And you know what, folks? That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, also, Buckley indicates that the studio's future interests reach beyond the walls of Pal World alone. If you're wondering, Life of Sin spin-off Pal World Pal Farm has its own tiny spin-off team. Buckley explains we still have to start thinking about what comes next eventually, he says. Yeah, I'm still wondering when's Pal Farm coming? Pal World Pal Farm coming. I'm interested in that. That's another game I'm interested in the Pal World universe. I love Pal World. I haven't played Pal World in a long time. It's been a long time since I played Pal World. I should probably check it out one time. I know that 1.0 update is, or the 2.0, wait, it's a 1.0 update or 1.0. When it goes to 1.0, it's supposed to change significantly. They were even talking about, like, the Pal World developer was even talking about, or Pocket Pair was even talking about, maybe if you're going to play this, you don't have to, they're saying, but they were suggesting that you start Pal World, the 1.0 version, off from the beginning, like restarting it fresh, brand new with new character and all that. And I guess it adds to more things you can find out about and more stuff you can do and all that. I was kind of interested in that, but they also say you're not going to miss out on anything if you continue on just by doing it the regular way and just playing through with your regular characters. So that's cool too, because that takes, because I spent many of hours in my pal world collecting pals, updating them, collecting everybody else, and making my slave farms and all that, and doing all that stuff. I would not really want to restart from the beginning with Pal World. That's just me though. But I can say for sure, Pal World is a very pal-phonic game. And for those of you that keep getting sick of Pokemon and stuff, Pal World might be that extra inch of Pokemon with guns. I know. That's they don't like it when I say it, but Pal World with gun or Pokemon with guns. In an awesome world. And that, folks, is it for this show. I am done. I am freaking done. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of podcasts, but I'm ending it nicely. I'm ending it before 3 hours again. It's only been a little over 2 hours, and a little bit of that's been music and stuff like that, and that's going to be my ending stuff. So little less. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Like I said, let me know what you think about anything and everything I talked about here. Any other games or whatnot that you might want to hear about. Trust me, it's not going to be Resident Evil Requiem, or it's not going to be anything to do with, what's that game called? I forgot because I just, Marathon. It's not going to be Marathon. It's not going to be Resident Evil Requiem. Sorry, those are the two games that I just have no interest in. No interest in at all. So, not going to be those guys. But anything else you see me playing here, if you got any comments, questions, whatever, you got your own ideas, what could happen with DLSS 5 in the future. Maybe you got some clear vision or something about that, and you just don't think it's a bunch of crappy slop that's coming out of it, AI slop that's coming out of it. Because like I said, and I'll say this again, and I'll probably say it many more times in the future, I think DLSS 5 might have something. They might have something there with that. Like I said, time will tell. We'll see. I could be wrong. And like I said, if you don't like it, you don't have to turn it on. But don't call it junk. Because even game developers are like embracing it a little bit. But then they're getting the backlash because the gamers, so-called, are crying about it. And you shouldn't be crying about it. It's not costing anybody's jobs. It's not taking the fun away from you. It's not doing anything. It's just trying to improve stuff. If you like it or not. So with that said, folks, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I'm going to do a lot of gaming. I'm going to do some other stuff, make some good dinner this weekend. I got a good chicken dinner that I'm going to be cooking up this weekend. A lot of chicken and stuff. Like I said, a lot of gaming, movie watching, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed your weekend, because you're going to be watching and listening to this the day after the weekend ends. And hopefully you get at those game sales that Microsoft Xbox is doing. Check it out. Check it out on the Xbox Microsoft Store. Check it out on your Xbox app, on your phone. Check it out on your Xbox app, on your PC Xbox app, because different sales for different areas. Like the PC app has its own sales going on. You have the Square Enix sales going on the Xbox app and App Store, which I'm sure the App Store has all the sales going on there. So a lot of stuff, a lot of sales going on through the Xbox. You just got to look for them. And like I said, everybody, till next time, folks, I am Mr. Mike. This has been the GamezAttack podcast. And I am saying game on, game hard, world conquest. And until next time, this show is now game over. See ya.
Pixels flicker neon bright, OldFreakyGamer plays all night. Joystick in one hand, fries in the other. He's the king of one more level, brother. Press start, he's in the zone. His throne's a squeaky chair alone. Oh, freaky gamer, he's tapping that, blasting through the game's attack. Level up and don't look back. Oh, freaky gamer on the track.
Game over.